Danny, I love the eulogy. Mr. Consul General Akiva, my dear friend Akiva, my teacher and mentor and elder brother Brian and Caroline, who every now and then let him off to meet me. Ellie, where are you? And Jonathan, who is not here, but those two individuals in a way gave me the contribution of my life many years ago, appointed me as the first recipient of the New Israel Fund Award, whatever it meant, I had no idea at the time, but gave me a year to refine my ideas, which was one of the most significant years in my life, and that's the time to publicly acknowledge my thanks both to you individually and to the New Israel Fund, who made me actually what I am. If there are some defaults or irregularities, please turn to Ellie and Jonathan. It's not my responsibility. And to Danny, who in the last year or so became a very, very close friend, associate, partner, and co-conspirator about many things, and to the rest of the beautiful group we have here around the room. I listened very carefully both to Diane's and Jeremy's introductions, and I heard the echoes of you and them, Israel and diaspora. I heard it. It is not, the oneness is not yet there. And I thought a lot about many events I had with the New Israel Fund, about us and you and them and Israel diaspora. And in a way, I have a feeling that something is changed. And I'll tell you what is changed. Here is Moshe. Moshe was bar mitzvahed. I take it bar mitzvah is a verb in English. Okay, so Moshe was bar mitzvahed. So for a present for his bar mitzvah, his parents decided to give him the present of his life, a trip around the world, i.e. a charter flight to Europe. So he goes 10 days with his father around Europe. Here is the first day. They go out of Charles de Gaulle airport. And Moshe turns to his father and says, Daddy, tell me, are all the people around here Jewish? He said, oh, no, of course not. They're going. He said, okay, go him, no problem. Next day, it's a new airport. They go to the Leonardo da Vinci airport in Rome. They go out of the airport. Moshe turns to his father and said, Daddy, tell me, are all the people around here Jewish? He said, of course not. They're all Gentiles. He said, okay, no problem. Gentiles, Gentiles. Next day, it's Kloten in Zurich. The same question, the same answer. Every day for 10 days. Here is the last day. They touch down at Heathrow Airport in London. They go out of the airport. Moshe turns to his father and says, Daddy, tell me, are all the people around here in UK Jewish? He said, Moshe, what's wrong with you? I told you time and again, no, they're not Jewish, they're Gentiles, they're Goyim, they're non-Jews. What's wrong with you? Said Moshe, poor Goyim, they're so spread around the world. Now, for many, many years, I know Moshe, okay. For many, many years, when I thought about this allegory of attitudes, how do we see the world, I had the feeling that poor us, we're so spread around the world. One there, couple there. We're not really together. Somehow the power of the togetherness, I've never met it. Now, in the year that I'm going to describe soon, that was a very interesting year for the New Israel Fund over here and over there, dafka under this kind of pressure, dafka under this kind of opposition, all of a sudden, we're not spread around the world anymore. We're in the same room, we are together, we are dedicated, we're focused, and we know what we want. We want a better society, we want a better world, we want a better Judaism, and we're not ready anymore to take it from whomever gives it. And that's an unbelievable New Israel Fund. So it's not a joke. It's a new reality. And I'd like, instead of giving you a lecture about the new reality, I'd like to share with you some of my feelings and some of my sentiments and what brought me back home to the home of the New Israel Fund. And in many instances, and in many cases, this is really my ideological and my values and even my personal home, both at home and away from home. This period of the year, the autumn, I love the most. Rosh Hashanah is over, Yom Kippur is over, food is over, okay, more or less. And the year really starts. It's a new beginning. There is a feeling of a beginning. There is a feeling of a startup in the air. And we just started to read the new stories of the new stories of the 5 books of Moses. And they're so beautiful, and they're so naive, and they're so full of, oh, maybe this year there will be a happy end to the Torah. Who knows, okay? You know, when I was a child and I went to a cheder, and I've always failed to understand how comes that exactly each and every year, the Shabbat before Hanukkah, the wife of Potiphar, the Egyptian minister, seduces Joseph. Doesn't he learn? I mean, didn't he listen to the Torah reading of last year? What's wrong with him? But nonetheless, I love these beginnings. I love this beginning of the Torah because, to tell you the truth, I love mythologies. I love big stories. I love big ideas. And in a way, the bigger the story is in the past, the more committed I am to a big utopia in the future. And in between the greatness of the past and the great expectations I have and we should have from the future, in between this, utopia and mythology are shaping my day. Our mythology is a very imperfect one. When you think about the family of our patriarchs and matriarchs, oof. Whew. I mean, even presidents in America and in Israel do not do things like this to their family members, okay? The members of the family. I mean, women trades, child mostering. Let's stop here, okay? I mean, the story is not a nice one. And you ask yourself, why is it so? Why is it so that finally we have a Torah, we have this kind of people? And there is a philosophy. There is a concept behind it. And the concept is our patriarch, our sages, our founding fathers and mothers are far from being perfect because they were human beings. They are being publicly criticized, and they are being open for a very serious debate about the nature and character and deeds and actions, because actually, when you have this kind of imperfection and you have this kind of invitation for criticism, you have a standing commitment for repairing whatever you find not good and not perfect. And in a way, the less perfect the sages are, the more invited I am to repair and to correct the world. And the origins of Tikkun Olam, of the Jewish Tikkun Olam, begins there at the very early days. And when I think about it, there is one individual that I think a lot about him, and this is Abraham. Well, not personally, okay? But nonetheless, I think about him. Here you have a guy, he's the middle of his 8th decade, he's 75 years old. This is an age in which, at least in Israel, you stop everything and max, you become a president. Okay, that's it. I mean, nothing more than that. And at this age, and here you have an individual who established, maybe invented, the monotheism, the concept of one God, which is a brilliant, beautiful concept. Recently, it doesn't function very well, but nonetheless, yes, we the Jews, we introduced to the world the concept of one God, and this one God is being represented in the Knesset by 6 different parties. This is a very nice evolution. This is a very nice evolution in our religion, in our faith, but nonetheless, here you have this individual. He really achieved something, really something that echoes up until today. And instead of having a kind of Abrahamic institution for interfaith or whatever it is, the minute it is done, there is a divine voice calling him, said, Avraham, yes, lech lecha. I mean, no tranquility. No peace, no nothing. Go forth from your land and from your birthplace and from your father's house. And actually you ask yourself, why? Why? Why him? There's so many people around. Why do you take this old man? Why not somebody else? And when you ask yourself what actually God asks him, God is asking him a question we shall answer later this evening. God is asking him, are you ready? Ready for what? We'll come to that later. Now, when I think about individuals, when I think about human beings being great founders or daily friends of mine, I always ask myself, what are the mechanisms of the human being? Why the mechanisms of the human, of the individual, of the man and woman are functioning the way they do? How is it so that it is so easy to recruit people to go to war? It is so easy to declare war in no time. Some demagoguery, couple of arguments, most of them very hollow, sometimes even deceptive, deceiving your own nation, deceiving the entire world, and people are there. Masses are marching to the battlefield in order to kill and be killed. And so, yeah, it's so easy. It happens daily. It happens all around the world. It happened to you. It happens to us. It happens to everybody around. And at the same time, it is so difficult, sometimes almost impossible, to recruit people for a struggle over the values of their life, which is not a bloodshed, but a kind of a civil society activity, a daily boring task of changing the world via positivism. Why is it so difficult to call people to really defend the founding principles for which we are living, for which we bring kids to the world, for which we actually have this world? Why it is so easy to make war and so difficult to do the other things? Now imagine that, God forbid, tomorrow morning there is a war. Somebody declares a war against Israel. No law of return, no law of conversion, no law of this and no law of that. Forget about all the differences we have in no time. American Jewry, European Jewry, Israeli Jewry stands in lines with a kind of solidarity, with the state of Israel. It's very clear, it's physical, it's here and now. It's very simple. We do it, we did it, we shall do it in the future. But we did not realize that actually, even now, at this very given moment, here in this arena in San Francisco, in many arenas over there in the Middle East and in Israel, we are in a war. We're in a conflict. We're in a war which is difficult and hard and malicious, though different from the battlefield of red-coated people fighting blue-coated people. And with the kind of the ironic smile of the minister of history, Dafka us, the people of peace and reconciliation, we are called to the forefront to defend Israel and the basic values of Jewish civilizations against the worst enemy of all, ourselves. Because the eroding forces that are eroding what we believe were, are, and should be the basic values of Judaism and of the state of Israel and of the Jewish people of today, are being attacked severely, maliciously, daily, by forces that years ago we did not believe will be there, and now there are the powers. And the question we are being asked is the same question Abraham was asked so many years ago. Are we ready for the challenge? Are we there for it? Now, I'm not a desperate person. I'm not a pessimist. I do not believe in despair. I'm not addicted to it. And the minute I realized that this is the direction in which our ocean liner, our vehicle is taking, I came back home. I came back to the place which is very important for me, very important for so many of us, to the organizations and the people and the individuals who actually shaped my personal and public landscape. I came back to the New Israel Fund and I said, guys, we have a war, we're together. What can I do for you? What can you do for me? What can we do for us?